What we just witnessed in form of a panel discussion is a small reflection of what the Capacity Building Commission and Karma Yogi Bharat are hoping to achieve through what we seek to announce today. May I now request Honorable Minister Sir to kindly launch the blueprint for forging a digital capacity building alliance by pressing the button on the remote right before him.
Being the world's largest democracy comes with a sense of pride. Imagine, over 1.4 billion citizens, 36 states and union territories, 800 districts, 4,000 plus urban centers, 6,50,000 plus villages, millions of decisions every day. And to govern at this scale, this pace, we need an ever-evolving system. So India built one. In 2020, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi launched Mission Karma Yogi to build a future-ready, citizen-centric civil services. At the heart of it, the Capacity Building Commission, delivering capability with foundations of trust, empathy, and inclusion. Powering this is our Karma Yogi platform, India's national digital learning platform, accessible anytime, anywhere. And now, the next leap, AI-enabled governance, personalized learning paths, smart decision support, from reactive systems to adaptive capacity building. Today, all governments, especially in the global south, face the same challenge, demand-driven and technology-disrupted, complex governance, need for agile institutional capacity. India has a working model, open, scalable, proven, a global public good. Today, the Capacity Building Commission unveils a proposal to forge Digital Capacity Building Alliance, an alliance that fuses global AI principles, digital public goods standards, and the Mission Karma Yogi model, a unique model for demand, design, delivery, and continuous evolution, with one single vision to build a shape, non-proprietary foundation for capacity building across nations. This alliance aims to bring together for capacity building, a global forum to drive policy design and standards, industry to build digital commons and specialized solutions, academia for the network of knowledge, research, and incubation, civil society to champion systemic equity and ethical accountability, DPG partners to orchestrate ecosystem for scaled impact, startups to catalyze solutions and co-creation, steered by the Capacity Building Commission and Karma Yogi Bharat of Government of India, a global public good for inclusive, ethical capacity building in the spirit of Sarvajan Hitai, Sarvajan Sukhai, welfare for all, happiness for all.
Thank you so much, sir, for launching the blueprint. May I kindly request Honorable Minister, sir, and all the dignitaries on dais to stand for photographs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. May I invite Honorable Minister, sir, to the podium to deliver the keynote address for the afternoon.
Honorable Minister, and already welcomed delegates and guests. Sir, when you walked in, we were in the midst of a panel discussion that, of course, you saw how it concluded, and Mr. Ramadurai was bringing the whole perspective of how does AI and its use pan out for the public services. What are the challenges by way of capacity building? The learnings that we have had under Mission Karma Yogi, how valuable are they going to be to inform this whole journey that all the global partners, global governments, stakeholders are going to further take those steps towards. And the summit has seen the Honorable Prime Minister unveil the vision by way of Mano that he explained yesterday, which is totally bringing in the layer of the need and importance of having a human-centric approach, the hands of the human in every decision that is being made that will impact citizens in every which way. So I think the whole capacity building is looking at that capacity and capabilities that we need to put in the hands of every public servant, from the secretary at the policy level to the community level frontline worker. How do they use, navigate, and bring in the intellect that is needed to make the correct, ethical, moral value-based decisions when it's going to impact the humankind in general? I think we have had very fruitful insights from our partners, the panelists. And so this is almost a culmination of a long months that we have spent in discussing these issues with our stakeholders, whether it's from the industry, the partners, our service providers, academia, startups. We were able to bring all of them together today. And the document that has been unveiled by the minister just now is bringing all of those learnings and insights together to call for action in all of us who are working on as experts in our fields to come together, collaborate, strengthen each other's hands and responsibilities to forge that pathway with the human centricity that is required in handling the capacities that we have given to our baby, which is the alien and augmented intelligence. I think so that is where your keynote now would give us the further needed guidance that you think at the political leadership level. How do they view the whole capacity building space? And like Robin said, this is a very important but oft sidelined sector of public governance, but now we have the opportunity of bringing it center stage. I don't think we should lose this opportunity to take the leap with utter faith, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Radha. Thank you for reminding me that you needed my guidance. And more than me, reminding all the others in the room that they have to listen to my guidance. But I know you've already done enough of that task. But thanks for your kind words and trying to encourage me to stand before this podium. Now, we are simultaneously talking about three things this afternoon. We're talking about governance, we're talking about capacity building, and we're also trying to bring in an artificial intelligence interface, which of course is in any case there, whether we like it or not. We don't have to do it, it's already there in every sphere of life, in every domain that we work in. Now, governance, if you take one by one, governance is a dynamic process, like any other processes in every domain that we are engaged in. So also is capacity building. It's dynamic, it's continuous, doesn't end. And the time that we live in is such a fast track movement that by the time you prepare yourself for tomorrow, when tomorrow happens, you realize that you were only preparing for yesterday. And then upon that, the artificial intelligence and the role of it both in capacity building as well as in governance. And if you talk in the context of India today, when you talk of a framework which inculcates the best of all the three, I think the most encouraging feature is that we have a government in place, a political dispensation in place, which is supportive of all these ideas and all these initiatives. Till about maybe 15 years back, we wouldn't have ever thought of a theme like this gaining priority in an academic room of this nature. And therefore, this is a dispensation of the Prime Minister Modi, which is not only ready for futuristic ideas and initiatives, but also for future-ready ideas. And that means, while it looks very fanciful, romantic, talking about artificial intelligence, even if a grocer shop puts them up, banner outside. They hear my items are sold through AI driven. I'm sure he at least be able to attract some more number of customers. So that's a new nature because, but at the same time, being unrealistic and pragmatic, and Mrs. Radha has also been Secretary DOPT before she took over her present assignment. We are also ready to shed away some of the old baggage. So while we are ready to learn what is new, we should also have the capacity and we should be non-possessive enough to unlearn something which we held close to our chest for so many years. And I'm proud to say that in the last 1 decade, this government has done away with almost 2,000 rules. And that sin has not been committed alone by me. Madam Radha has been equally guilty of that. And that's because many of the rules were designed for the times that they were designed in. They wouldn't have thought of artificial intelligence about 100 years back. We were having rules which were haunting us for more than a century, getting our certificates, documents attested by an attorney before some. We didn't even know that. We have other means. And we also have now means to trust each other. So at the same time, also we have opened up doors to learn the new practices and to also, while learning new practices, to build capacity to learn new practices. So why capacity building commission sitting with the governance viewers? Because when you learn the new governance practices, you must also learn to build capacity to learn. So artificial intelligence, the basic mantra is to be able to be a good learner. And if you are not one, then to learn to be a good learner. And capacity building commission is one instrument which helps to do that. And this also was the idea which first time came from Prime Minister Modi. I think quite a novel idea for a government setup because usually governments are used to work in a status quoist mode. So we have a flavor of private sector. Banu is there, earlier we had Adil there. Because now we have also got over the barriers of private and public sector. So unless we learn to learn from each other and also give up our skepticism, we will not be actually building up capacity to the optimal. We will be building up capacities which are limited by certain barriers, and that would not be an unbridled learning. So capacity building commission is there, Mission Karm Yogi was being talked about, was also their creation, I got, and all these are testament to the governance reforms being accomplished through optimum technologies. Now, this alliance, which has been launched. Now, when we talk of digital public good, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm one of the few who are from the School of Sciences in this room. So, if you take out the first word, digital, and just concentrate on public good, you will realize that good governance was always synonymous with public good. So, public good essentially would be at the core of the good governance. It's just that now started using digital means, so it's fanciful and more because now we are into the age of using acronyms. So we say DPG. So now we are into DPG. But to a hardcore, old-fashioned science student, like you ask me, I would say nothing. It's just the same. Good governance, public good. And this government, right from the day one, has been emphasizing the Prime Minister himself. One of the earliest declarations was maximum governance, minimum government, which in other words means a government which is citizen-centric, which is accountable as far as possible, which is transparent, and the ultimate litmus test of which is to bring in ease of living. So all that DBG was happening earlier, only the announcement is being made today. I clear that kind of a myth now. I think the Capacity Building Commission deserve appreciation because they were very much instrumental in helping us building up these new frameworks. And I must also congratulate Madam Radha and his team for this launch of Digital Capacity Building Alliance. But I think yes, you can pass. But the guiding principle, ultimately, all of us would agree, would be to build at a scale which is optimally integrated, to build with as much inclusion as possible, and build for others to learn and also to adopt. Otherwise, the very purpose of the alliance would not have been achieved. And therefore, for that purpose, artificial intelligence could be a powerful tool. But certainly not an end in itself. Now, in the same ministry, when we are already using it, from the experience that we have learned, that the optimal mix is something qualified to the flavor of this audience, your acronyms, would be AI plus HI. That means artificial intelligence plus human intelligence. And we learned that in a hard way while we were devising CP grams. We are feeling very proud that our disposal rate of grievances have increased to more than 95%, almost 100% per week sometimes. But everybody went back with a long face. So I told the then secretary, I said, grievance disposal 100%, happiness disposal 0%. We looked back and I said, no, there's something called happiness index being discussed in the West. So we actually had to introduce a human desk over there because everything was happening online, AI-driven. The complaint would immediately reach the concerned desk. The reversal would come before you expected. Then the person would end up saying, "ऐसा पता ही था यही करना था ऐसे ही बेकार किया था." So somebody there to console me, ऐसा. So that kind of so I think that hybrid model is something which is ultimately going to be effective by all means. As far as AI is concerned, the morning also I was listening to the IMF chief. She said India's progress in the AI initiative is phenomenal. So I think we have already received recognition from the global judges of global benchmarks. But that apart, what is suited to our conditions? Because a counterpart sitting in Europe may not be used to talking. We are not used to talking. Like for example, another example of hybrid model I will give, we have, I think I'm the only member in the House of People who has a mobile teleclinic in my constituency. And there are two doctors. One is physically sitting there, the other is an AI doctor, she's a lady. Then they take the history, they digitalize it, do all the assessment, connect it to one of the leading hospitals. You have paneled 3-4 of them, connect to the super specialist there, and get the timing where the prescription is furnished just about 40-50 minutes. It's a very lucrative health startup now. But of course, we are doing it out of philanthropy. So when the patient comes, the physical doctor talks to him. But he feels more gratified when the AI doctor talks because she talks exactly the same dialect or better than what he talks. So when he speaks Bhojpuri, she would speak better Bhojpuri. So half the disease is over. And I'm not talking without evidence because in medical parlance, we have something called placebo effect. And Indians are usually used to placebo effect. If you get well, maa ka Ashirwad. If you don't get well, pichle janam ka karam. So you have such homemade beautiful placebo. So that may not be there in European concept. So as they say, Indian data for Indian solutions, Indian treatment for Indian. So we need to have, however much digitalized we go, maybe other nations or counterparts may not require that handle, but we will always be requiring it. And I think with this alliance, the repeated model that Madam Radha has suggested, we would be able to engage more and more value addition and by preparing this draft chapter with a content standard and the evaluation framework that is required. But in the end, I will just pick up on what she said, the Manav part of it, which the Prime Minister spoke yesterday. Now, how many in this room actually have been able to decipher what was meant by that Manav acronym? Not a single hand has gone up with confidence. So I think before you leave this room, if you have an iPad or a notebook, please take it out. M stands for moral and ethical systems. A stands for accountable governance. N stands for national sovereignty. And second, A stands for accessible and inclusivity. And finally, V stands for validity and legitimacy. Now, this is happens when we do not have the capacity to learn the term, we have the capacity to learn the acronyms. And very soon, the artificial intelligence will take up this much capacity also. We immediately press it, what is MRO? The other day when I was watching this large language model, and we said the language battle is over. So I said, maybe, but along with that, we have also buried that beautiful breed of linguists that we had in the earlier generation. We fancy people who know more than 5 languages, could speak more than 5 languages, 6 languages, so many of them. Now we are at the risk of even forgetting our own language. There's someone else to do it for us. So that's why, in the end, I think the two reasons, because I've been into this AI business quite deeply for the last almost half a decade. I've been trying it in different fields. So the ultimate, I think, model which I draw for myself, because these days you can't be drawing for others because everybody has the prerogative to learn for himself, is that one has to be intelligent enough to use artificial intelligence. Otherwise, don't get into this business. And B, which is I think the tagline also for some of the media persons if they are there. Artificial intelligence can substitute everything on this planet, but it cannot substitute integrity. Now, whatever you do, the other day when we launched this tele-robotic 3 days back, I heard somebody said now we will be able to get rid of these fetal infanticides happening. I said, oh. He said, no, because the doctor is sitting thousands of kilometers away doing an ultrasound on a lady who's 1,000 kilometers away, so he would not be able to actually do any. I said, now, if I'm a doctor and I'm smart enough, I'll tell the person sitting on the other side, when the lady appears, when I have to do the sex determination, just sound my mobile bill, I'll do that. So that is integrity. So I think, ultimately, if we are not able to use this with integrity, we might run the risk of ending up also not putting to active use so much of other governance models that came to us but got withered away, not because of reasons attributable to them, but the reasons attributable to those of us who had been assigned to handle them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful address and laying emphasis on the need for integrity, which is only possible through the idea of having human in the loop, something which also finds mention in the blueprint that we have just launched. With this, we come to the conclusion of the event. I extend my heartfelt gratitude and on behalf of Capacity Building Commission and Viksit Bharat. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, sir, dignitaries on the dais, and all those present here. Thank you so much. I now request the panelists also to just stay back for a quick minute for a photograph with the Honorable Minister, sir, and the dignitaries on the dais. Also, all present, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to Roshan Karma Yogi booth in hall number 5. Thank you. Sir, please. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.